What's up, Kingdom? Welcome to the new Last Epoch build. Today we will be building this crazy spinner guy. First of all, let me show you gameplay so you will understand do you want to actually play this guy. All you need to do is to just press one button and hold it, and basically that's all you're doing. You're just holding it until the end of your trials, of your monoliths, of your bosses, any challenges you like. Basically that's all you do. Of course, we got a bunch of additional skills to complement this ability, but if you're enjoying this Whirlwind Barbarians from Diablo 4, if you're playing Garen in League of Legends, or basically you're a really big fan of this spinner dudes, you will like this build. You will like. It's really pretty fun in my opinion. So what we got here? And what we can do more than just spin. First of all, we can go back in time. That's really cool ability. You just go in, you think it's not a good idea, and you go backwards instantly, and you're replacing your health and mana. So if you for some reason lost big chunk of health, you can instantly heal yourself with this. Next ability I'm using sometime, it's bubble. So this bubble you create in this, and most of the time you will use it on bosses or really hard enemies that will take a large amount of time to kill. Most of the time you will go through easy mobs just easily, you go through them, but against some big guys you're doing this bubble and then roaming around. This bubble gives you more lifesteal, more power, more defense, basically a lot of stuff. I will explain just in a second what exactly it gives you and what skills and skill tree I'm using. And also, if you still playing campaign or maybe big bosses, you got this launch ability, so you can just run away from his one-shot abilities, from boss's one-shot abilities, instantly go close to him, and then just start your crazy stuff that you mostly like doing. Damage is pretty sick. You can do a really nice amount of damage, and unlike most Warpath builds, this one is really tanky. So biggest problem of most builds using this Warpath ability, this whirlwind called Warpath, biggest problem of all of them is lacking tankiness. But my tankiness will be really nice and good. So how to make this build if you really like and want to try it out? Let's start with the skill tree. Okay, so what we got here? First of all, of course, our bread and butter, Warpath. Warpath, if you're if I'm not mistaken, your second skill that you unlock second in this game, and we're playing Void Knight Warpath. So when you get into the campaign part where you pick your mastery, go to Void Knight, and that's it. So first skill Warpath, where we're leveling this stuff. In the beginning you want at least few points in Unchained over here. Unchained will make Warpath cost less mana, and just by spending 3-4 points over here, you will have unlimited mana and can just go through whole campaign like this, doing nothing but spinning over and over again. So just spend some points over here and spend them until you start getting your mana almost always full. But 4 will be more than okay. Then next points will be going to the left tree. And you want to have 2 points in Iron Reach that will increase area of effect of the skill, and also 2 points in Whirlwind Steel that will increase damage of this ability, but only if you're wearing two-handed sword. So you want two-handed sword or axe. With this weapon you will have more area of damage, and this damage is doubled with two-handed weapon. So very powerful stuff. And then instead of continuing into this tree, by only investing 4 points over here and 4 points over here, 2-2, you're going to the right side, when you're unlocking your Void Knight especially. So here you will convert Warpath with additional damage, and additional void damage of course, doubled with two-handed weapon. Then with 1 point over here you will unlock Echo Knight, and now your Warpath can echo. Echo is really powerful ability. Basically that's what you see when you're traveling and channeling this ability. You will have this additional Echo Warpath Void Knights. They will do additional damage to enemies, and that's why it's really powerful. You basically don't need to stop for enemies. You can just spin around and they will die of these echoes. And then you want to have point over here in Apocalypse Whirl that will give Time Rod to your enemies, but also it will convert physical damage of Warpath to void damage. And this will make your build and gearing up a lot more easier. So you're looking only for void damage amplifiers on your gear, on your suffixes, affixes, and other stuff. And also all bleed and ignite stuff will be converted to time rod that will increase damage to your enemies. So very powerful stuff. Then you want 1 point in more of the deep. You will do more damage with stacks of time rod on enemies. And then you want to keep 1 point. So you keep it in this 1 point until you get some points over here. So what you want to do, you want to get 2 points in Battle Master's Blade, but 1 point initially. You will increase area of effect of Warpath with two-handed weapon, and then you want 4 points in Dark Nexus. So 4 points in Unchained and 4 points in Dark Nexus. Dark Nexus will regain your mana when you channeling. So after a few seconds, every 3 seconds basically, you will regain 28 mana points. And why do you need to regain so much mana? Because every 5 seconds you will cast Abyssal Echoes. That's my secret sauce for this build, and I think it's really fun. Look on mana, after channeling for 5 seconds, your mana starts to deplete a little bit, but then it's regained and back again to its maximum. With this build combination, you're basically casting Abyssal Echoes from time to time. And that's my second skill for this build. You don't even need to keep it on your action table, but you don't need any other skill, so why not to keep this? Basically, this Abyssal Echoes is skill that you casting like this, and now it's automatically casted every 5 seconds while you channeling your Warpath. At the same time, it can echo and do massive damage to your enemies. Also, it's void damage, so that's why this combination and synergy works. So in Abyssal Echoes, you want to go to the left side first. So get 1 point in Whirlpool Reverberation. When you cast Abyssal Echoes, it stacks enemies with additional damage over time, so it will do additional damage. You don't care about this actual not. You get in this only 1 level in here to get Rippling Corrosion and get 2 points in here. Now Abyssal Echoes can shred enemies' armor. Then you get in 2 points in Tides of Rust, and this will increase effectiveness of this armor shred, and then you get in 1 point in Time Compression. And then you can switch to right tree, basically get 5 points in Deep Expanse, 5 points in Corrupting Harness, and 5 points in Resounding Abyss. First of all, it will increase area of effect of this Abyssal Echoes, so you will focus down larger area, but at the same time they can echoes and chain additional time. This means when you cast this stuff, it can chain and basically be casted on all enemies around you. And it will be with increased damage from Resounding Abyss. So this combination of void skills doing really nice increased damage, also shredding some armor, or instead of armor shredding, you can go into Grippling Waves, into the Snail Road, bottom over here, and get 1 point in Freedom of Movement. When enemies will apply slow to you, instead they will apply haste to you, you will run faster. That's a really nice combination too, against some enemies and some monoliths. And that's our bread and butter combination, basically. I guess you understand why it's so powerful right now. Let's get to our next skill, and it will be Volatile Reversal, of course. And the skill is not super important, so I'm even not sure about leveling in this tree, but I like having some points over here in Time Sep, because you get chances to replenish some time of cooldown when you're hitting bosses or killing enemies. So against bosses, it's really useful to evade some attacks. Then catching up to gain some move speed after you teleport, and also warped time is really nice. You get in attack speed, and if I'm not mistaken, because it's melee skill, it will scale with attack speed too. Like channeled melee skills should actually channel with attack speed. And then some points into the left side, basically you will create Void Rift on arrival, it will do additional damage. It will inflict Time Rot on enemies, and Time Rot is really powerful. You will understand why when we go to the passives. You can increase area of Void Rifts over here, and also you will increase enemy damage taken. So it's really useful. You basically spin around, you teleport backwards and then spin over here, and enemies will take increased damage. Why not to take this skill? About Lunge, our least useful skill, basically only to just evade bosses and stuff. I like to have Dawn of Charge, gain health when you're using lunge. So if you're just losing some health, maybe you can use it instead of health potion. Why not? Also blade stream to hit all enemies on its path. Maybe there's a lot of like little enemies, you can destroy them really fast. You don't need it, but I mean, why not? Also, while dashing, you will have increased chance of block with Juggernaut Dash over here. And finally, we get Unstoppable. We're basically invulnerable while lunging. That's why we get 4 points over here and then additional point over here. So basically, we are invulnerable when we're lunging. It's really useful to evade some one-shot abilities from bosses and other stuff. Then we go in 1 point in Disarming Blow to inflict frailty on enemies. It will reduce damage that they deal, so you can do it sometime, but most of the time it's useless against a lot of enemies. Still, against bosses, it can be useful. But we get in 1 point here to get over here, to increase maximum distance we can travel and also some damage. And then go downwards to Call of the Weak, Reckless Skirmish, and finally Void Bringer to convert this damage into Void damage. So now we got all skills that's doing Void damage as real Void Knight should have it. And finally, our bubble skill, Anomaly. And in Anomaly, we want to go to the right bottom side first. Void touched enemies who got hit by Anomaly will be inflicted with Time Rod instantly. And most of the time, when you just get in this skill, you need to cast it 2 times. Basically, you cast in Bubble, and then you can recast it. But when you get 2 points over here in Immediacy, you no longer send enemies forward in time, you don't need to get them back in time, and basically you're triggering this effect instantly. And then you get in 1 point over here, so Anomaly level 3 basically, you're leaving Time Bubble. So before you won't even have Time Bubble. And this Time Bubble slows and shreds enemy void resistance. That's why you want to use the skill. And as I told you, most of the time I'm using Anomaly just to survive really big enemies. That's why I recommend going to the top to get Manipulation, increased attack speed in this bubble, then 2 points in Time Eater to gain Health Leech, and this effect is doubled for Void damage, and also Void Maw to double this Health Leech, and basically all Health Leech. So if you build in any Health Leech items, now you're doubling this number in bubble. If you don't want to rely on Time Bubble area a lot, then pick 3 points in Temporal Mastery, so Time Bubble will last longer, and then 1 point over here, so Time Bubble's area of effects will be in effect for 2 more seconds. So you cut in this bubble, and basically after leaving this bubble, you will have this increased leech and other stuff. And then to make this bubble so big, you can get some emission. It's over here to the left. I got 5 points in it to make this bubble this large. And then you decide. You got 3 points left, so it can be Decimation to increase critical strike chance in this bubble to inflict more damage on shredded enemies basically, or you can get more points in Leech. So that's my skill build, and let's quickly talk about items. Basically, I won't suggest exact items that you want. You want to see any items that will increase Warpath levels, maybe, because we got a lot of skills that can be leveled even more. To have nice tankiness and advance in the game, you want to have all resistances up to 75%, and all basic resistance stuff will be on the screen right now. So basically everything you need to check before you go into the higher levels most of the time. But basically it's just 75 plus resist in every resistance, then your health should be up to like at least 2k, then like maximum 3.5, 4k HP will be okay. And of course you want to wield some two-handed weapon. So this legendary, Dreamaton, unique I mean, is very nice. You got melee void damage, void penetration, some block chance. So it's pretty nice like middle tier weapon for this build. Also woven flesh to increase your leech, basically your tankiness is really nice too. And basically look for everything that increases your void damage, your melee damage, because it will be converted to void damage, like physical damage will be converted to void damage. Strength will increase damage of Warpath too, and also look for movement speed, because higher movement speed means you will travel more distance, clear monoliths more faster, gain more weapons, armors, and other stuff. So, passives, let's do it. Passive 3. I got 30 points in Sentinel for this build. Basically, it's Juggernaut. 8 points over here for +8 strength and resistances to void and fire. Then we got 4 points in Fearless for +4 vitality and some health regeneration, 5 points in Armor Clad. It gives you more armor and reduced damage taken, and Relentless 8 points, you gain an increased damage and stun avoidance. Stun avoidance is really important. We don't want to be stunned, basically. And also we want to have Blade Master to just increase sword attack and cast speed, and axe attack and cast speed. That's why you want to have two-handed axe or sword. Power of this node is really easy to demonstrate, so just 5 points over here will increase your damage by like 25%. Just check. So I respect my character, I got no points over here in Blade Master. Warpath now doing 3k, almost 3.4k damage, and then we're getting only 1 point over here, 3.5, and basically it will do almost 4k damage. Then we go into our main tree, it will be Void Knight, and that's everything you want to take for this build, basically. Some abyssal endurance to increase your health, void resistance and physical resistance, sorrow and steel to increase physical damage and void damage. Then you want to increase your critical multiplier, and that's why we're spending a lot of points in Void Knight. For every point spent in this category, you gain in critical multiplier 1%. Then full 8 points in Doom Knight to increase strength and health, 6 points in War to increase melee damage, void damage on melee kill, and basically it's increasing your damage, but when you kill enemy for 4 seconds, you gain this buff with increased armor and void damage at the same time, so really powerful stuff to be tanky. Armor is not like best tanky stat, but still it's nice. And then singular purpose, you're reducing your block chance and increasing void damage by 100% with 4 points over here. And then you want this full tree, basically echo and strikes, your melee attacks and void spells have higher chance to be echoed, so you want all 5 points over here. Then Time Legion, you will increase your attack speed and you will have chance to inflict time rot on enemies. And again, you gain an increases echo chance. And you finishing with Avatar of Regret by reducing your attack speed a little bit, increasing mana cost by a little bit, but also increasing echo chance by 10%. And of course you want full 15 points in Dread, it will increase your void damage and movement speed. Avatar of Regret a little bit questionable, it's just 10% and you're losing 10% of attack speed, but that's like fine. And also in the bottom part of this tree you want Devouring Blade, increase damage on a recent kill by 20%, so when you kill someone you will have increased damage for a little bit of time, but mostly you want some World Eater over here for survival. Your void damage will be leached as health for 6%, and at the same time don't forget in the bubble it will be doubled. And Finality, you will increase melee void damage and your Warpath is melee skill. And at the same time, if enemies will be below 10% health, you will instantly delete them. Very useful against certain enemies with big health pools. And that's it, my Warpath Void Knight. I hope you enjoyed this build and you will have some nice and fun time playing it in Last Epoch. Also make sure to watch other videos on the screen right now and see my Google Docs in description for cool table with all builds on the channel. Thanks you for watching and see you in the next videos.